Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the OathCast. I, of course, am your host, Oath Alliance, and today I have another special cast here for everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the B word. No, not that B word, the other B word, the one gets thrown around a lot nowadays, and no one appears to know what exactly it means. The B word that we're going to be talking about tonight, for me, probably morning for you, is going to be bigotry. Yes, bigotry, that special word that people love to throw around, yet seem to know very little about. So, just looking here, I'm on dictionary.com and I've got bigot pulled up, and we're going to start off with the dictionary definition. It's a noun, a person who is utterly intolerant of any differing creed, belief, or opinion. So bigotry is not the defensive position of not wanting to submit or accept other beliefs, but it is an intolerance. So it's an offensive stance, sort of an inquisition of such, where it's not that I refuse to accept your belief or I refuse to believe the way you believe or see your other side. It's instead a place of saying, you don't get to have your opinion because it's wrong, and I'm actually going to work to get rid of your opinion. I'm going to attack you for it. I'm going to ridicule you. You can't have your opinion, and I can't have mine. Yours is wrong, and I must dominate and destroy it. So, how does that interact with us as people? Well, I would say that 90% of the people in this world probably are not bigots. Okay, that was a number I pulled up out of nowhere, but I would say probably most people you meet are not bigots, because they're willing. If you said, "Hey, you know what? I like rock music," they probably wouldn't be like, "Rock music is of the devil. You're going to hell. Someone stone this person. He's a sinner. Kill him now because he likes rock music." Guitars are from hell, or things like that. Oh, I play platformers. Go back! Kill him! Burn down his house. He likes platformers. First person shooters can only exist. You know, Generally I'd say most people aren't like that. And even people with religious stances, bigotry is a place where it's not even you can be that way. It's a you must submit to my belief, my opinion, my creed, my thoughts, or else. So, why does it get thrown around a lot? I mean, I'm confused with why people throw it around so much. Because bigotry is a very strong word, um, and it has an exact meaning. It's not a sort of ambiguous word. It's not like saying, I disagree with you or a differing opinion or something like that. It's a very, very offensive word to use because you're not going to label moderate people or reasonable people with the term bigot, because a moderate or a reasonable person will probably not say, and now we're going to stone you because you have a differing opinion of us. You know, uh, you have a differing opinion to what I have, so I'm going to stone you to death. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to come burn your house down or something like that. So bigotry is a place where you can't even allow neutral parties to exist. Bigotry it's an all or nothing. It is a place where you're either for us or you're against us. You agree with us or we destroy you. And so looking around, actually, I'm going to tie this all to Gamergate. Looking around on Gamergate, there's specifically today, GamerX, which for those of you who don't know, it's gay mer X. It's I guess, gay, gay, lesbian, transsexual, bisexual, queer, and all the other letter uh, group that have a convention or they're like in video games, I guess. And They came out pretty much and said, we're neutral on this subject. We Gamergate, we're just not even going to get involved. And they got attacked for it, which makes no sense because they pretty much said we take a stance of neutrality. And I mean, I may not, I honestly don't fully agree with everything that Gamer does, but I mean that taking a stance of neutrality, I can absolutely understand, especially as a group with them. Instead of condemning anything or attacking anyone, they just said, "Hey, we're taking a neutral stance," which I can totally accept. And even though I disagree with them in other areas, I can totally respect that thing because they decide that as a group, as a convention, as a existing party, that they're just not going to get involved, and they've been attacked for it, which is absolutely ridiculous because why should they be attacked when they're choosing a neutral path? Why is it that if you don't condemn one side or the other, that you are part of the enemy? You know, in World War II, Switzerland was a neutral party. They decided not to get involved in the war. And as far as I know, none of the countries on either side came out and said, "You must join our side or we'll attack you, Switzerland." Even though the Nazis were horrible people. I mean, they were doing horrid stuff to all sorts of people, not just Jewish. They were doing it terrible things to the gypsies, the gays, the mentally ill, the handicapped. They were just doing horrible things to all of these people. And Switzerland was like, "Hey, we're just going to be neutral," and that actually allowed them to do a lot of good because they were able to help and play both sides. And even then, I think there's probably some people out there who would vilify and say that Switzerland was evil and doing the devil's work, things like that. But taking a path of neutrality, especially in something like this, where it's a very gray issue, because you've got, I honestly have to say both Gamergate and non-Gamergate both have quite a bit of share of blame in being harassing or unreasonable and uncivil. So both sides have blame on them. Neither side is absolutely clean of any wrongdoing. Um, but to attack a neutral party is beyond comprehension. Other people have recently, the another person, which will not be named by me, uh, has tried to attack other people um, in the Gamergate area for because one person had a differing opinion on a subject, which actually is an ambiguous subject to begin with. So you've got a gray area subject, and because this person disagreed with them and didn't come out and say that you can't have your opinion, you have to have my opinion. He just put out his opinion, and this person was just oh, you're a bigot. Everyone, this person's a bigot. Even though the person who said it never had anything attached to Gamergate when talking about it. Actually, it was something that they did, months or even years ago. It was a while back. It was before this all started, or at least it wasn't attached to it. I don't have the exact date in front of me. But anyways, so not even really attached to the entire Gamergate. But this person just goes on this tirade about how they're just evil and bigoted and hateful, even though it's not bigoted because he's not attacking you. He's not saying you can't do something. He is asking a reasonable set of questions and then saying, figure it out for yourself. You know, but this person couldn't accept that. And then when people were like, "Hey, calm down. This doesn't have to do with Gamergate. Just, take it somewhere else." Oh, you're all bigots with him. You agree with him. You're bigots. People, stop throwing around the word bigot. I mean, you're totally getting rid of it. I mean, it's sort of like if you toss around the word rape, if you label all sorts of things rape, eventually rape becomes a very loose and worthless term. When you've got something that really means something, bad, and then you start to use it for things that have very little to do with it or dumb down things, eventually the word's going to be worthless. And as a writer, I think that's a terrible thing, and misusing words is sort of a sacrilege to me, at least. Misusing them for stupid purposes, really. So when it comes down to using the word bigot, remember that bigots are people that that it will not allow you to have a differing opinion. If you have an opposing opinion, they if they can't accept that, if they refuse to allow you to have a differing opinion and say you must have my opinion or else, then they are being a bigot. So, uh, yeah. So honestly, even though I disagree with probably a lot of people in the world, I think that they all are allowed to have their opinions, even if they are bigots. If you want to be a bigot, you can be a bigot, but don't call me a bigot because I'm okay with you having your things. And actually, this goes back to areas with the entire push for social justice, at least the extreme social justice movement. That's why I'm going to call it the extreme social justice movement. Is a bigot movement because the extreme social justice movement is not born out of we want equality or things like that. It's a place where your opinions must conform to our own, or else you are a bigot, is what they label you as. And that is not reasonable. It's not neutral. It's not fair. It's being a bigot. So the extreme social justice movement is, in the end, very, very much against the very core foundation of what I believe, which is a center of objectivity and generally neutrality or moderation in the form of allowing people to have the freedom of thought. So I don't really know about you guys, but when it comes down to it, I'm definitely playing the word bigot very carefully. And if you see someone misusing the word, please tell them it's not, if they're saying, well, this person's a bigot because they disagree with me or they don't conform to my ideology, tell them that they're actually being the bigot and give them a link to, the dictionary.com, uh, thing here, dictionary.com definition or whatever dictionary you want to give them, and give them a link and say, no, dude, you're being the bigot. Because even though we disagree, it doesn't mean that the other person's opinion cannot exist, because opinions are personal, personal ideologies are personal, and people will have them whether or not you say they can. If everyone thought the same way, probably the world would never get anywhere. It's the differing of opinions which allows us. So if you say people can't believe in evolution, you're being and that they must conform to intelligent design or creationism, you are being a bigot. If you say that people cannot believe in creationism and they must believe in evolution, you are being a bigot. As soon as you attack someone else's opinion, even if they're wrong, even if people are absolutely wrong, they have a right to their own opinion. Now, if they try to force people to join their opinion, not reasonably talk out, but force people by saying, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to attack you, we're going to, sue you, something, then they're being a bigot. But if they're simply coming out and saying, hey guys, this is why I think you should join my opinion, this is why you should join what I'm saying, here are my reasons, here's my logical thought, so on and so forth, then at that point, they have every right to share it, and you have no right to stop them. You have right to debate them, you have a right to disagree with them, you do not have a right to silence them. So, please, 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 for the love of all that is good, don't be bigots. Don't attack other people. Stay civil. Allow other people to have their different opinions, but remember, if you see someone being a bigot, let them know they're being a bigot. And if they're calling someone else a bigot while being a bigot, then just say, oh, hello, kettle, this is pot, you're black. Just let them know that they are being the exact same thing that they're trying to cast on other people. Anyways, let me know what you think about this entire debacle down below in the comments. Like this video, even if you hate it. Put in your favorites if you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe. I, of course, am Oath Alliance. This is the OathCast, and all of you stay strong and game on.